Hey guys, welcome to the channel. For those who are new, my name is Ace, and if you are looking to elevate your photography skills, you are in the right place. On this channel, we cover a wide range of topics in the photo space that'll help you take things to the next level and really elevate your quality in your work. So in this video in particular, we are going to be talking about leading lines, what it is, how they help your photo, and how you can keep an eye out for them when you are out shooting, just to give your photos that extra push in quality. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this video started. Now, first things first, what is leading lines? Leading lines is essentially a composition technique used in your photos that really helps drive your viewer's eye and where it goes in your frame. So here's actually a couple of examples to give you an idea. So right off the bat, you can pretty much tell what the leading lines are. This can be done in a number of ways, and it really helps you think outside the box when you're on location, especially shooting, as you can use these to your advantage to really help take your photo up a notch in the quality. Leading lines can come in a variety of ways. Here are some examples to give you some ideas. They could be used in buildings, they could be used in paths, streets, train tracks, things of those nature. I mean, you could even get really creative with it, and you can see in this image in particular, the photographer used the leading lines of the balcony of this apartment complex to shoot his photo and direct your eye up and down the frame in a very pleasing manner. Now, using leading lines in your photos are extremely important because our eyes naturally are drawn to the lines within it. So this is extremely important that you grasp this idea and learn how to implement it into your photos, as it'll make it automatically more pleasing to your viewer's eye. Something a lot of people forget, myself included, is when you are on location shooting, take a step back, take a minute to analyze your setting before you pull up the camera to your eye. There's been a couple of times where I've taken a few photos and realized there after the fact, even maybe when I've gotten home and start reviewing them once more, that had I moved the camera maybe a little bit to the right, I could have incorporated a better leading lines into my photo, which would have made the photo much more pleasing. So make sure that you are analyzing your settings, looking for the leading lines, and if you are shooting with a model, figuring out and thinking about how you can actually incorporate those lines into the portrait to really bring things up a notch. Now let's talk about using some of these techniques in your photos. So one you might not have thought of is actually using light and shadows to create leading lines in your photos. Now, this is generally seen a lot in architectural photos and street photography. You can see some of the examples here. The shadows, the harsh light coming from the sun really creates some really cool leading lines that also really can make your photos seem that much more interesting than if you could imagine these images without any of those harsh shadows. Another huge tip that I love to use is basically shooting at different angles and different heights. Now, you'd be surprised at how the leading lines can change, visually speaking, your perspective simply by changing your angle or even the height at which you shoot the photo of. So the next time you encounter some leading lines, be sure to use this technique to just get a little bit of a variety in your shots. Who knows, you may find out that shooting a little bit lower than you originally thought would give you the best result. Another tip is to use converging lines, basically two lines intersecting at one point where your focus is going to be. This really does help your focal point pop and make all your viewers' eyes go straight to that particular subject. Here's an example to kind of give you an idea. You can see that this image of the bridge is shot in a way where the lines are basically leading to the center of the frame, and so your eyes naturally go and focus right there. Leading lines can also come in a variety of angles. They could be vertical, they could be diagonal, they could be horizontal, they could be even both, they could be squiggly, if you will. So So just make sure that you are aware the next time you are going out and shooting to pay attention for these leading lines and figuring out a cool, interesting way to incorporate it into your photos. And guys, that is gonna wrap up this video here. I hope you really did learn a few things that you might not have known and can apply the leading line composition technique in your photos to really help elevate them. So as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really does help the channel continue to grow. And if you're not already subscribed, consider doing so, as we have a bunch of fresh content coming out for you every single week. Now with that said, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.